your focus for this offense in the early stages of camp? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, the easy answer is everything, obviously, but it's installation. We've as talk my first day one meeting with the guys is like, we've done a lot of football up until this point this year. With our winter OTAs and spring football, summer OTAs, and now going into camp. So this is like the fourth time we've really installed it. Some guys were here in the spring, some guys didn't get here until the summer. So individually it might be their second time, or maybe their fourth time. So we should really have a pretty good understanding of what to do, but it's still installation. It's still installation, but there's a lot of technique stuff. I get irritated when guys don't know how to line up or they don't know their assignment. That really irritates me because we have installed it 4 times, right? So at this point, it should be more about proper technique and getting into making good decisions and starting to work on situations and then putting guys in position to be able to make plays. And so it varies from player to player. Just the overall aspect of it, where just trying to figure out what the best lineup is and what we do best.
What's the significance of, Coach just told us about Markway, the injury. What's the significance of that in your mind?
Well, I don't know because I've never coached him. I mean, I coached him one day in no pads. I wanted to coach him. He's such a great kid, man. My heart goes out to him. He's been through a lot, and I've got to know him as a human, but I've never coached him. His numbers, his testing numbers from the spring or summer were really good. He ran a corner route, and I looked at it, I was like, something didn't look right on that. And he like kind of double clutched it, and I was like, that didn't look very good. That's not how that route's supposed to happen. I went up to him like, are you good? He goes, yeah. And he went back in there and he finished practice. And he went through the run through, and he's like, something's not right. And so they went and got him an MRI, and he's done. I feel really bad for him. Was really excited about coaching him because his numbers are like that's what you look for in a tight end. But I don't know. We have a good group of tight ends. How big of a blow that is, I don't know. It's always about what's next. I when I went up to Mac, I was like, this what's next. Coach talks about what's next all the time. I mean, in the coaching world, it's always somebody's got next something, next something, next something, next play, next opportunity, next guy up. I mean, there's always that. Coaches, coach rules, what's next? And we talk about it all the time. And I go to Mac, I go, hey man, I really don't know what to say. It's about what's next, and he goes, he's been through it. And so he goes, yeah, I guess it's God's plan, and so, just here for him. But from the tight end perspective room, we still got 6 other guys that all have potential that will get better. They've got better every day, and we're going to be okay at that position. The other part of the what's next is injuries happen. You got to prepare for that at every position. And unfortunately, that was just for that young man.
What do you want to see out of Dylan? Maybe like Saturday at that open practice. What have you seen so far? What do you want to see by the next?
Just keep controlling the game. I've said this before. His football knowledge is advanced, and so we're putting a lot of things on him from going to the line of scrimmage and looking and seeing what's going on and getting us in the best play. Okay, and he can do that at a very high level. So, the leadership stuff, that's been awesome. The conditioning has been awesome. His rapport with people is awesome. The timing with the receivers is getting better, but managing the offense and getting us into the right play is what I'm looking at. And he's doing a great job of it. And I keep giving him situation after situation after situation within just a play, not the situation in the game, but just within the play, to where he's got to look and read defenses and get us into a better place if he can, which will make us better, make us more efficient if he can continue to get better at that.
Lyndon Meyer mentioned you telling the guys don't get tired of the routine play. Do you see them growing in that understanding, Dylan, maybe in particular with that?
Yeah, I mean, one of our goals as an offense is to become a little bit more explosive. With more explosive bodies, I think that'll naturally happen. Okay, but that's not what we're going to obsess over. We're not going to be reckless with our play calls just to try to get explosive plays. That will come situationally. That will come. Where that really shows up and your yards per play go up is just routine play after routine play after routine play. If it's a check down for 5 yards, that's good. That's better than an incompletion, right? So, or that's better than a sack. So just focus on routine plays, taking what the defense gives you. If you do that consistently, those routine plays turn into big plays with good players. And I think we have good players that can turn routine plays into big plays. That will help your yards per play, and that will help your explosive plays as well.
What do you want to see from that running back position? You know, you got Emmett, but
Yeah.
what needs to happen for maybe somebody else where you feel really good about the number 2 and even number 3 situation?
Yeah, we've had this discussion in this room a bunch, and I know that's on everybody's mind with just depth. I mean, look, that position, I've said it, and I keep saying it, you're getting to number 2 quick, you're getting to number 3 pretty quick, and you're probably going to get to number 4, and it may happen in the first half of the first game, so better get some of those other guys ready to go. I have been, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go straight in there, and I'm going to go find him, and I'm going to tell him what I said, and if he does anything wrong, I'm going to kick him right in his ass. Makai's done good. Makai's had a great summer. He's matured. He looks very explosive out there. He's had no busts. His assignments and stuff have been good, and he's doing a good job. Okay, Ike Mosey is going to be a good running back. He's got a running back body. We kept him at running back in the spring because we wanted him to settle in, and we wanted him to work on his receiving stuff, which he did all that. It was good, but we needed to move him for depth purposes, and he's a talented young man, so those two guys, Connor Booth is a guy that's different now than he was in the spring. So we have some young guys. I hate mentioning names because I'm going to forget to mention somebody, but been pleased with where they're at, and those guys are just going to get a whole bunch of reps here over the next 2-3 weeks because they're going to play. You're getting to number 2. You're getting to number 3. Ives has been out with a hamstring. He'll be back. I mean, we know what he can do, but I've been encouraged with those younger guys and how they've developed so far.
What's your assessment of the level of speed in the offense this year, the guys' ability to top off defense?
Better. Better. Ja'Cory we know Ja'Cory can run, but sometimes he didn't play fast. Okay, he's playing faster. Okay, so that's encouraging. All the other guys we're putting them in positions to see what that looks like. I mean, do we have a bunch of 4-2 guys out there? No, we don't. But we have good football players that have shown the ability to get behind people. I think that will happen. Those will come. To me, I'm not obsessing over, just deep ball after deep ball after deep ball after deep ball. I'm not obsessed over that. Those will happen in the right situations, and I'm very confident that we have guys that are going to be able to go get it.
How have you felt about how those QBs behind Dylan have grown in their understanding as you head into August?
Yeah, they got a long ways to go. Jalen is Jalen. We know what he can do. He intellectually he's way up there. He can do everything that we're asking him to do. We know where he is right now based on being a 5th, 6th year guy or whatever it is. The young, basically it's TJ and Marcos. We're putting them in. It's just so new to them, but they were here in the spring. So where they're at now compared to where they're in the spring is encouraging. We're just going to keep putting them in those situations to see if they can handle it. So it's still a battle, and it's going to be a battle here for quite some time.
Coach, how do you feel about just the options and competition you have at the tackle spot with some of the guys back who were out in the spring?
Lot better than I felt in January. I looked out there in January and said, geez, this ain't good. Now I look out there and say, okay, there's capable bodies that are able to play. Getting Teddy and Gunner back has developed depth. So, I mean, we're just rotating them every couple plays. I mean, all those guys, we're going to rotate them, and hopefully we get Turner back here pretty quick as well. That will add to more depth with it. So, depth and healthy bodies to be able to practice and put them into situations to see who elevates their game. That typically happens throughout the course of camp. You know, one's going to go up and one's not. Are we going to rotate them all year? I don't know. We're going to just keep putting them in situations. But how do I feel? A whole heck of a lot better than I did in January. You know, we're able to put 2 quality groups out there right now and get as much reps and work in as we need to.
I know that, they haven't played a game, but this offensive line compared to some of the others that you've been, you know, when you were a head coach, where does this one potentially stack up in terms of depth and athleticism?
I don't compare it to. I don't care what I've done, where I've been, teams I've had. It's always about this and what we got to do to make this the best team that we possibly can. You know, and I just look at it right now, and I'm happy with the depth. We got 17 healthy bodies at O-line. We get a third group out there and rep those guys with a bunch of young guys. It doesn't look very good, but they're getting a whole bunch of reps, and that's what young offensive line guys need is just reps and developmental, and then they need to eat and get in the weight room and worry about those guys here in a couple of years, you know. But for the now and for like the next practice, got 10 good bodies that are all practicing hard, and that gives us an opportunity to coach them and gives them an opportunity to develop.
You were away from Dylan for the summer for a little bit. What jumped out?
He got mad at me. He's like, "Why didn't you call me for 5 weeks?" I go, "I told you I wasn't going to call you for 5." Joking. I talked to him a couple of times, but we wore him out for 3 weeks in June, and you can keep doing that. I mean, under the rules, you could sit there and do that for 8 weeks if you want to. It makes no sense. You got to get away from them. More importantly, you know, we got to get away from them. It's not us get away from them. It's we get away from them. Just so it can just clear their heads, be kids, you know, do your own thing, you know. And I certainly did my own thing, you know. But just getting away from them, when you get back, you kind of excited about seeing them because you're about to spend a whole lot of time with them. You know, not just him, but just like all, the whole guys, the whole group, you know, position coaches.
Body makeup, how he came back.
I liked where it was in June, you know, and he did a good job in June and July of maintaining what he's been doing. He didn't let that slip. He was here the whole time working hard and looks great. You know, physically he looks great. That's not going to change because of what his mindset is right now. My job is to work on what's going on upstairs.
What have you seen from these wide receivers, and why, if at all, are they better positioned going into this season?
Just got more guys. Just, you know, more guys, and the depth and is what I'm encouraged about, you know, just especially at the wideout position, adding 4 new guys. You know, the young guys look good. I don't want to get into the names and everything. We know Dane's going to start and be good. We know Jacory's good. He's going to start and be good. You know, and Isaiah showed up out there today, Hunter, you know, but he's got guys behind him that are pushing him. You know, Quinn Clark's pushing him, and Keelan Smith's pushing him. Jeremiah Jones looks really good. Cortez Mills has made a good bit of plays. So we got depth at wideout, which will make those guys better. All right, good to see you guys. See y'all.